Oh, one second, and then if we're all, physically, if not emotionally prepared, we'll start.
Cool.
What was I gonna say? Oh, everybody roll a charisma check in the tower. I will do one theoretically um for Kerithlana.
Oh no, I'm so poisoned.
This is when I don't like having a high charisma.
I will say that it's shocking that I think I just rolled the highest that Kerithlana has ever rolled on one of these checks.
No.
And she's disadvantaged because of the poison. So I I just feel really bad for Hill right now. I think sometimes she has as bad a dice karma in this game as I do in Waterdeep.
Yeah, but you want bad dice karma now.
I don't I don't want bad dice karma for anybody.
It is when you're trying to not get elected.
Well, that was fun. So last time, I did, like normally I write a summary kind of sometimes, or at least points, but this time I didn't bother. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of like it's the apocalypse. Maybe I was just too busy panicking to write a summary. Last time you guys had entered the ruins of the ancient demonic fortress known as Marseval. Once you reach this place, you found that the tree that you expected to collect a sample of bloodroot tree sap, um, you found that tree burnt, deliberately torched, and so that plan was ruined.
Yep.
You also ran into some scorpions when you were investigating. You figured you needed to head down deeper into the fortress to find where the rest of the trees might be. But when you took the stairs down, you found a nest of scorpions instead. And that was a bit of shock as far as Kerithlana was concerned. Then exploring some more, you came across a symbol that was painted in blood that you guys recognized as, or some of you recognized, was associated with demons and my brain just farted. Lords of Dust. Did that cut off?
No.
Demons and the Lords of Dust, yes. And then you broke into this room because it was like the only door there. So you're like, hey, let's knock down a door. You knocked down the door. You found a bunch of dretches. Uh, Dretches that managed to like fart some noxious fumes in the air that poisoned several of you. Kerithlana is the only one who's currently poisoned, other than Kymir. But Kymir's poison was like a poison, like this is OG poison that Kymir has. This is the poison that Kymir got as you approach the ruins through what seems to be a contaminated water table surrounding the area of the ruins.
Does this mean Kymir's been poisoned for a month in real time?
Maybe at
Yeah.
least 3 weeks. Yeah, three
Not
weeks I
happy.
think. This is the third session. Kymir's been poisoned. Because Kymir, he got poisoned like at the end of an episode, so I don't think that completely counts.
Yeah, in the quicksand. So I had all of last session, this session.
You got poisoned and then you fell into the quicksand like immediately. It was like a 1-2 punch.
Good times.
Now, finding out these stretches, what you found was yet another tree that had been cut down and torched, burnt out stump. You found that I'm so distracted. Don't spin Kerithlana because it's like totally
Sorry.
distracting me. I'm like,
I'm
oh,
trying,
it's a spinny thing. Look.
I'm trying to make my map load.
I know, so am I.
Is the map not
Oh,
loading? Do you want me to like share it again
no.
or something?
Will that make a difference?
Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, try. I'll close mine.
I just got a big grace. Try and do anything like
telling you.
zoom out, then it goes away.
Don't tell
a
me it's
bloody
corrupted,
apocalypse.
because if it's corrupted, I'm going to be furious.
It worked fine last week.
It was fine.
Is it really like a totally gray map?
Uh-huh.
God damn it.
Can't see the trogs anymore either. They were there last week.
Okay, so I can see it, but now the times this has happened in the past, what I have to do is just reload it under a different name and then try to frantically migrate everything. Because just unsharing it, resharing it seems to do absolutely jack shit. There's supposed to be some kind of thing where you guys can maybe reload the cache, but I can't remember the exact steps of that now.
Okay.
So I call bullshit. That is as a troubleshooting opportunity. Here, while I theoretically babble more about what you did last week, I will load another map.
We can babble about what we did last week if you want.
Yeah, babble about what you did last week. That'll be great. Yeah,
Wow.
tell me what happened so I will remember.
So we found the symbol that I recognised, I think. And then we found and then we went into that room and there was a Lizardfolk person on the ground who was severely injured and they were surrounded by Dretch. Is that correct?
Yes.
Not getting any feedback. It's
I
very
can't
disconcerting.
remember. I
Alright.
can't remember what I did yesterday.
So they were surrounded by Dretch. You and Bonnie.
That's very similar to Shaefira, actually, isn't it?
It is. So we killed the Dretch, and I believe the lizard person turned out to be I can't remember her name, but she was the daughter of Queen Offakent.
Beli. Beli was her name.
Beli. And she was concerned about the hatchlings, which I believe are the dragon's children. And she said something about I'm going to get this wrong now, but I'm fairly sure she said demons were attacked.
Yeah, demons attacked.
Yep, I got.
So go on.
Go ahead. No, sorry.
No, go on. I was just going to say I think Kerithlana healed her. I can't remember if it was Kerithlana or Stiiv. I think it was Kerithlana. And then we agreed to go help her. And she also said something about the trees, so we assumed she knew where to go for the tree. And then the last thing I remember is being jumped by trogs.
Trogs.
Yeah, they were so we'd basically come back down. So we'd gone we checked the area where the scorpions were, which is to the east, and then we went up the stairs above there and to the west. No, the scorpions were to the west, and we went up into the east to find Beli, and then she led us back down past the burnt tree, back to the east, but on the lower section, and we were heading southish, I think, and that's where the trogs started running up from.
And we also found more than half a dozen bodies in a bloodbath. Not all of them were lizardfolk. One was a Sahuagin and one was a Trog. I don't know if that's important.
Forgot that. Yeah. Was that in the
Told-
dredge room?
No, that was down south. There was the burnt tree, and then to the east of that, and then to the east of that was the hallway
Right.
with the Trog jump.
Okay.
Trog bush.
Trog bush.
And tasty bacon saved the day again.
Always.
Love the tasty. Love the bacon. I'm still unmasking and fiddling about. Did you say something? Oh, you found a piece of mysterious paper.
Oh yeah, with a 4-line poem in Draconic script, which 1, 2, 3,
Oh yeah.
4. I don't have all of it, but basically.
I think it's in the party inventory now.
Oh, is it?
Yes, scrap of Scotch parchment. Would you like me to read it out?
Sure.
Why yeah, not? I will totally copy that into my notes because what I have is Not that.
You've got this poem is all about the other campaign.
It's totally about our hangover people.
So weird. Anyway, so the poem was an elf child with a deadly visage, suckled by a dwarf. Rise to rule spider and Scorrow Mound, when the deceiver drinks at the Dolphin's Wharf, and the lust pits of like Castle are bound. So we think the elf child with a deadly visage is a drow, potentially, maybe. It's so what's his face in Culkin?
Culkin and
Right,
Murderface.
that's it. Rise to rule spider and I really need to catch up on my law. When the deceiver drinks at the Dolphin's Wharf. Dolphin's Wharf wouldn't have anything to do with Saltmarsh, would it?
No, but we had Hermione wasted on the eternal potion of with the dolphins and got the dolphins drunk. And the lust pits of Karsaluthulul was
Was
the
Dishy's book?
smut book that Dish had.
Yep.
Passage doesn't involve the codex. Burn it.
I feel that
I'm
someone
almost
doesn't
ready.
appreciate the other campaign.
Yeah, there was a mention of the codex in scribbled on there. I feel like the proportion of this is like all farked, but okay.
So who's carrying the scrap of scorched parchment?
Well, at the moment, no one, so I'm open to suggestions on who wants to take it. Could
I
start
mean,
with the-
Kymir and Shaefira were really, you know.
Yeah, Shaefira found it, didn't she? And passed it to me.
Well, as I recall it, she held it out to you, and then
Yeah, and then she got asked
and both
because
of you, and then both of you holding the parchment walked over to Kerithlana and
Kerithlana.
showed it to her and said, "Can you read this?"
Well, I'd be thorough.
I'm going to say Shaefira finally let go of the parchment and, got distracted by something else that was shiny.
I just got distracted by everything in the world. Oh, bastard! Don't mind don't mind me. I forgot that I just irritated myself. I might have to re-add you to this. Did I share it with you yet?
No.
The good thing for you guys is it meant that all of the trogs re-rolled their initiative.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna delete you from this map and re-add you because you're too big. Everybody's like has gained like 40 pounds because they've been quarantined.
Well, that probably won't be far wrong at the moment. Because our whole not going to drink during the week went completely out of the window this week.
Yeah, I'm actually upset right now. I'm out of lime juice, so I can't make my bloody Clem Marys.
Aww.
We tried sake for the first time. This is not obviously to do with the game. We tried sake a few weeks ago for the first time. Really nice, but it was quite a sweet one. So we got one from where I buy like all my whiskies from.
Yeah.
And tried it last night, and it said it was sweet, but it was tangy, wasn't it? It was really nice. Really nice.
There's a big range in how dry to sweet some sakis, the different sakis are.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
like the ones that are really sweet.
they
Go on.
I was gonna say they're like regular grape wines. They go everywhere from like syrupy, sweet, and thick to thin and bitter. Like there's the whole gamut.
Mm,
And some of them are oily, which
that
No,
seems odd.
pass on that.
that texture is weird.
I do remember Sam was saying ages ago on the old podcast that him and Leslie used to do. What was it? Cocktail Hour. He used to talk about plum sake all the time, and that sounds really nice.
Oh, at
I can
least we
see a
got a
map.
loading this time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hope
but
it's a map. I hope it's real.
I can see people and I can see stairs.
Okay, so theoretically, it's the map that you guys had before. I
Looks
am
like it.
so sad because this one does not have all of my things added, but okay.
Well, at least this time I get a word that says loading.
Well, the way the internet's going, we'll probably get through the fight and it'll be time to call it. So you'll have all week to sort it
But hey,
out.
I know. It'll take 2 hours just to get through this combat, and it won't matter.
Yeah.
Well, we're only
No
20
worries.
minutes in, and we're. I see trogs now.
Look, we
And
are
blood.
entertaining the viewers with our recap of last week and talking
Yes.
about alcohol.
I've already
All about
forgotten
the
if there was
viewers.
anything else that, like, anything you said that needed correcting or added to. Let's just assume that you guys know what's going on. I think Steve's notes were pretty good. There was like 90% of important info there.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't log the visible farting dretch, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I did.
Oh, you
Wandered
did?
around and found a room with a bunch of dretches and a wounded lizard folk. Shaefira rolled 3 ones on her bow and somehow managed to get the kill.
That happened. That was a thing. Shaefira's
Where are
just
you
that
reading
good.
that? Where are you
What?
reading
In
that?
my exquisitely long notes.
Okay.
So does everybody have visibility of the battle map now?
I do.
Yes.
Now I just need to
I
confirm that
do.
I have visibility.
And those way too close for comfort.
So these troglodytes leapt out of the shadows. You guys were pretty non-stealthy, as I recall. You all rolled initiative, and what do you know? Kerithlana was the fastest among you. And I am going to be your Kerithlana bot for today because she's not feeling well. So what she's going to do, she's just going to sacred flame the hell out of something. Does she have sacred flame? Yes, she does. Okay. I'm getting myself tickled right now. It's like, wait a second. How do things work?
But are the cats trying to kill each other?
They're not, but I am like killing myself trying to figure out why this isn't working. Oh, it is working. It's just there's something weird about the display. Anyhow, I attacked the wrong person, and luckily they saved. So Kerithlana is very stressed right now.
Oops, sorry.
She doesn't. She's like, ah, surprised. So she's just like throwing sacred flames at anything that moves.
Awesome.
Oops, sorry. And with that, the troglodyte that's in the front of this pack, this clutch of troglodytes that have come out of the shadows, they're a bit like some of you have seen troglodytes before, mainly Shaefira because she's been around a bit more.
Why?
And the troglodytes you've run into in the past are more of like a green tint of scale. But these are distinctly different. They are a reddish black color. And they seem to be slobbering a bit more, and their teeth are larger.
So they've got a virus then.
Uh-oh.
It runs forward. One of them runs forward towards Stiiv. But it throws a net Actually, it runs here. And it throws a net. And the net affects a 5-foot radius. Technically throwing it over Stiiv and Kymir. So both of you make dexterity saves.
You mean both of you failed dexterity?
Yeah, both of you failed dexterity save. Huh. Wait, are you still poisoned?
Yep.
I thought that affected... Oh, it's just skill checks. Never mind.
Skill checks only.
So both of you are under a net now. You are restrained by that net. And you both took some damage. Okay, so you got a little restrained effect on you now. Wasn't that fun?
Awesome.
And now that he has thrown his net, he's going to claw at Stiiv. And he hits with his little clicky claw and damages Stiiv for additional 4 points. And that is that guy. Kymir. You're under a net. You can struggle and make a dexterity saving throw to try to extract yourself. But this is a barbed net. And you find that it is cutting into your skin as you move around in it. So be very careful.
Okay. If I do a save, does that count as my action?
Yes.
Right, so I can't do...
I need to double check. You're restrained right now. And I need to double check what that is.
Restrained has disadvantage on dex.
Yeah. And it says my speed becomes 0. I'm just wondering about casting Blade Ward, so I've got resistance against piercing and slashing for the net.
Unless there's something special about the net, there's nothing in the condition that says you couldn't.
Yeah, there's nothing that would prevent you. It will take an action to extract yourself and do the saving throw that you're like escaping the net.
Let me do the dex saving throw instead then.
You manage to extract yourself. However, you do take some additional damage because of the barbs. So you take 1 more point of piercing damage as you escape, but you are no longer restrained.
Okay. There's not much else I can do really, so that's my action.
That is your action. Yeah, I think because I think all your bonus actions that you can do require you to be able to attack as your as your main action. Unless you have a spell or something that is a bonus.
I've just got cantrips and not bonuses. I can do the key point to do disengage or dash as a bonus action. I'm not sure if that's actually going to benefit in any. Hang on. No, I can't do anything, and I don't want to really move away and open it up, so I shall stay.
All right. Stiiv! You are restrained.
Not for long.
You've got a net hanging over your face.
Stiiv will sit there and misty step out of the net, appearing over here and leaving a giant spectral tentacle in my wake.
Show off.
Let me check something. Okay. Do you summon Toby?
Waiting to hear what the DM is checking on.
Let me take off your restrained. You're no longer restrained. You've summoned Toby as your bonus action?
Yep. It's my last Toby of the day.
Last Toby. I'm taking off your restraint now that you've Misty stepped away. and I got rid of that net. Did you do you get to attack when you summon Toby? You do, don't you?
Sorry?
You attack with Toby?
Not yet, no, because I wasn't paying attention and I clicked the and then it made Grasp of the Deep disappear because I was in combat. So I had to cycle through all my things to get it to show up so I could roll the dice. So let's miss. Oh,
So you
that
do
actually
hit.
hit.
You hit the troglodyte with a 13. And
Ooh.
while Toby tries to chillily fondle the troglodyte, you see that the troglodyte seems to resist Toby's attentions. And that is it for you, yes?
And that well, I technically could move, but I'm not going to. I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm nice and I let you save from things. Well, you use Misty Step, so that's kind of different.
Sorry?
But I was just talking about, like, I tend to let people save at the start of their thing. But this is a different scenario. Don't listen to me. I've had 1 hour of sleep. I'm babbling, okay? I'm
And that's
talking
one
about
thing.
things that have absolutely nothing to do with the scenario at hand.
The only thing we need now is maraschino moonshine cherries.
I only have Luxardo
Yeah.
liqueur, but I'm not drinking that, and I'm not eating cherries. When I got my pandemic alcohol supplies, the store I went to did not have them. I think I shared that with you guys.
You did.
The sadness.
So somebody been panic buying the cherries.
No, I think that I went to an atypical ABC store. Like, we have specific stores that sell alcohol. We can't just get it at the shops. And they did not carry it as part of their usual inventory compared to my usual store. So it was a poor choice to do it, like, on the way rather than go to my usual. So Shaefira, now that we've talked about my drinking habits at length, Shaefira, you're up.
Okie dokie. We're gonna shoot an arrow at the if I can remember.
And you hit with your arrow. So you hit with a 14 and you did 5 damage to troglodyte number 1. This troglodyte, the first one to run out of the shadows, the one who's throwing the barbed net at you guys, is really paying the price for his aggression.
Now you know how I feel all the time, bud.
Oh, do we get a sneak attack?
You do, because
Kymir's
Kymir
within 5
is
feet.
adjacent.
Woo!
Woo! And you drop that trog.
Now you know how I feel, bud.
Yeah, justice is served. Don't like no barb nets.
Excellent. That's me done, I think.
Okay, 20 fingers.
The next person is Beli, and Beli, being unarmed and still, while mostly recovered from the ordeal because of the prayer of healing that Kerithlana cast earlier. You just saw, like, I went through almost every single party member's name, like the first syllable, before I actually landed on the right person. Anyway, Beli scrambles further up the stairs, not wanting to get into combat being unarmed. And is screaming something like, "I can't dawdle, must find the children." The next troglodyte that is closest to you runs up. And this one also throws a net. over Shaefira and Kerithlana. So the two of you roll deck saves. Oh, I'm Kerithlana.
Wow.
So Shaefira, you dodge out of the way, but Kerithlana is caught.
It's armor.
What, you mean the heavily armed cleric has a poor deck
Yeah.
save? No.
What do you know? And she almost did well enough. It was really close. She takes 1 point of damage because all that armor. She just basically got scratched around the wrists and, like, a cheek or so. Just the exposed bits. And she is now restrained. And the fiendish trog is going to take this opportunity to claw at her. But misses because before mentioned armor.
cleric.
Then the last little troglodyte that is coming out of this shady corridor throws an axe at Kymir.
Ooh.
Gets a 23 and only does 3 damage. But you see this axe coming out of the darkness as this troglodyte runs forward, and it whirls around and it like lands in your shoulder.
Well, that makes a change.
Top of the order, Kerithlana is going to try to escape this net that is now on her head. And she does. In the process, she does take. She takes 4 more damage. Her hands get all cut up. Makes a mental note to add gauntlets to a shopping list.
Mm.
But she is no longer restrained. And that's going to be her.
Okay, I'm gonna go try and hit the guy who threw his axe. Because that was just rude, dude.
Highly aggressive.
Ah. I'm going to spend a key point to do flurry of blows.
Okay.
2 more unarmed strikes. So attack 1. Hit.
So the first in the flurry hits.
Attack 2.
But your second misses.
I'll be the one that had the shoulder damage.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
And you do 6 damage to this troglodyte. It is not hammer time. I mean axe time. Can I ask you a question?
uh,
I know it's not a good time for me to use my brain. And that was you.
it was. Sorry, I forgot to hit next. There we go.
Stiiv.
Stiiv. Okay, well, first thing we're gonna have this tentacle, Mr. Toby, as my bonus action attack fiendish troglodyte number 2. And since the cold didn't do so hot last time, we're gonna try the lightning.
Okay. So Toby hit with a
It's
16.
a shocking fondle.
And that fondle was quite shocking.
Mm.
And then point the short sword that I've never stabbed anything with at the trog and cast Eldritch Blast at him.
Like a column of greenish, gross smoke.
Pew!
pews towards the troglodyte, and he is instantly dropped by the power of your eldritchness.
And I don't like how close that other one is, so I'm gonna back in the corner. And that's it.
He's like across the room.
It's still too close! It has sharp teeth
Social distancing.
and very large talons.
Shaefira.
Move slightly so I can take a shoot an arrow at the troglodyte. Can I? Is Kymir in my way, or am I right shooting from there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I say like within that 5 feet, there's the assumption that because you guys aren't 5 feet wide. That's how I see it. You're
Okay.
not 5 feet wide, so
I
and
think
you're
you've fully appreciated how big my horns are.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
but your arrow with an 11 does miss.
Ah.
Any other shenanigans?
No, I don't think so.
You see Beli kind of disappear up the stairs. Kind of disappear. There is no kind of disappearing. She disappears up the stairs. And then this last troglodyte who was axing Kymir question, pulls out scimitar and slashes at Kymir. Lands with a 21. With its main hand. Oops, I just did damage on the troglodyte. You know, this is a bad brain day. Let me give my troglodyte back some hit points. And then with its follow-up attack, it claws with its offhand at Kymir. And with an 18, it hits, doing 4 more damage.
Bloody hell.
I think we're at the top of the order again. Kerithlana is going to do. Let's see, does she have spells left? Oh, yeah, that probably wasn't going to be good.
That's never good when the DM's just like, oh.
She has one level 2 spell slot left. I'm not going to use that at this juncture. I'm going to cantrip a little Sacred Flame. The troglodyte failed. And she manages to bring the bolt of lightning. Luckily, there's one target left in this room, so Kerithlana is not confused. She knows who she's aiming for, and she calls forth a beam of light from like the heavens that you do not see above you, and zarps this troglodyte.
Phew.
So you don't see any troglodytes anymore coming out of the shadows. You no longer can see Beli, the lizard folk, who is with you. But you do see that you did see that she disappeared up this flight of stairs.
Before we move on, I would like to take those barbed nets and shove them in the bag of holding because those could be useful.
You
Good
found
thinking.
2 barbed nets.
Could I take a potion of healing as well while I'm at it, please?
Yeah, you can drink one at will. You don't need my permission out of combat to drink or eat tasty bacon or whatever.
Is there a
So it's 8.
a special description for the barbed nets in the monster thing?
No. I don't think so. I'm putting it in your
Well,
group
because it
inventory.
does. Oh, you did. Okay.
Oh, for crying out loud. So I'm trying to do the wounded and it's just adding 10 onto it each time.
What do you mean? I'm
All right,
confused.
so in fact, it shouldn't have been 10, it should have been 8. I was trying to reduce the wounded down to 10 because I had
Oh.
a wound of 18 and it's added to it instead. Am I supposed to put the minus number
Oh,
in
so are
wherever?
you unconscious now because you drank
Yeah,
yourself to death?
yeah. I would.
Wait, how many hit points should you have right now?
I should have 26. Many thanks.
All right.
Will get the hang of this eventually. You know, it
Much
might take
better.
a couple of years, but
Kymir has sobered up now.
You said you put the nets in the
I
inventory?
haven't because I got distracted, but I am
Oh, okay.
kind of.
sorry,
So
my fault.
you rifled the bodies,
Shaefira is collecting her arrows back.
and when you rifle the bodies, you find 36 gold pieces, 54 silver pieces, 2 barbed nets, 6 hand axes that can be thrown, 3 scimitars, and 3 spears. That is in your patai inventory now. Steve's like, give me some net. Nothing but net. All other loot is dead to Steve.
Hey, that's gonna be handy in like 6 months.
But like,
Hmm,
yes, but Steve has the kind of background where like he's net attuned.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
I feel like I should make some kind of Netflix pun right now, but nothing. I got nothing.
Barb's
Steve,
Netflix and chill.
he's gonna net and chill. It's so awful. And you'll see that scrap of scorched parchment from last week with like the thing is in your party inventory as well.
Mhm.
That is, you have gathered all that you could find off of the 3 troglodyte corpses.
You know, I can use them spears as simple weapons.
They're
So is it all right if I
throwable.
say them? They are throwable. So it give me something a bit extra to chuck at things. Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah. The axes are throwable as well, but shorter distance than the spears, I believe.
Do you have to have any particular skills to throw, or
It's a simple melee weapon.
Yeah.
So if you have simple, then you should be fine. Almost everyone has simple weapon
I think
proficiency.
so.
Pretty sure it's only like the wizard and sorc that don't get the full simple.
So yeah, everybody
Okay.
here could do it. Even Steve can throw an axe, right?
Sorry?
Even Steve could throw an axe.
I can even throw a hand axe, but I don't like to.
okay? Well, do we want to share them out, or shall I
Just
just?
grab what you want. It'll be in there until you leave these ruins. So for now, we're going to pretend that you have this junk with you.
I
Beli disappeared up the stairs.
I guess we're gonna go after her.
You search the shadows that the troglodytes came out of while you were looting bodies and stuff. And you don't see anything. You can't find anything else down this dead end. You see it seems to be rimmed by a flight of stairs. You can see the platform ascends, and it seems to be an extensive flight of stairs that winds around this corner of the ruins.
guess we go up.
I guess we do.
Hmm.
I'm gonna stay behind the horny monk this time. I don't like being in front. It's scarier there.
So once you start heading up the stairs, you see Belly at the top of the flight, and she looks down. The lizard folk looks down at you and was like, "Oh, you survived. Well, that's good
Unusually,
then."
yes.
Good. I couldn't risk being captured. I'm sorry. I didn't help you, but I'm without a weapon, and my number
I'm
one
gonna.
concern is finding the
Do you want a
wormlings.
spear?
Oh, yes. I would love a spear.
Right, so I'll give her a spear.
Okay. She raises the spear with pride. You see her kind of heft it and judge its weight. And you see a glint kind of reach her eyes, like she is ready to do battle now.
Cool, that'll help. Better than running away.
Kerithlana asks about this shrine that Belly mentioned to the party the last session. Because Kerithlana would really like to have a nap now. And
Theme.
Belly says, "Oh, it's it's down the hall here. We're getting close. We just have to go around, and when we get to close to where the entrance to the grove is, that's where the shrines are." That was Kerithlana's version of "Are we there yet?" So go around the corner. You reach, once you finish going up the stairs, it reaches. I'm sorry, I'm moving you guys for no reason. It reaches another kind of platform. As you look around the platform, the walkway seems to continue along a ledge. There seems to be an open doorway up ahead. No door, it's just an archway with a room offset on it. And you see that the ledge continues beyond. And Belly continues scurrying. As you guys move forward, you hear a yelp and a clanking sound as Kerithlana is pulling up the rear. And it seems she's fallen over the side of the ledge here. There was like one little teeny bit that was open to down below to the south. And she's tripped and fallen over the side. And you hear this like loud booming sound. And then from a very, very far distance away, you hear Kerithlana's voice say smallly, "I think I found a gong." And then she calls, I'm okay. Just a bit embarrassed. Um, there's stairs down here, so I'll just wait for you when you come around.
Okay, can we look at Belly and say, do we end up down there?
Oh, if she's at the gong, yes.
Okay.
That's very close to the shrines.
Stay put, Kerithlana will be with you shortly.
Okay.
You could reply to this message.
So Belly moves forward past the opening of the room. And as Stiiv passes, and I guess, do you peek inside?
Of course.
You see a scene similar to the room you were in before, but without all of that directness. It's another burnt stump. There's another stocks set up made out of reddish wood material. There is a pile of carnage and bones on the floor, and a figure tied to these stalks. You see a basin that has some kind of reddish, sticky liquid in it.
Is the figure in the stocks moving or like
The figure is dead, and
poke it with my
Stiiv,
mage hand?
you see it is a dead Sahuagin.
Poke it with my mage hand just to make sure. Poke, poke.
It jiggles like a dead body.
Okay. You can never be too careful. Zombies and stuff.
It seems mostly dead.
I mean, we've already had dead bodies come up and attack us in our house before, so I mean.
Billy continues moving forward.
Oh, she went into the darkness.
Of a symbol.
Yeah, you find another symbol painted on the floor here, similar to the one that you found before. Oh, let me uncover this just in case you've forgotten which direction north is. Just for you. And more stairs down.
Yep, there she goes.
She's like, it's not long now.
You said that like 3 hallways ago.
No, but we're getting very close. You know, I mean, distance is relative in a dungeon. These ruins are winding and complex and ancient. But relatively, we're very close.
We should have jumped down where Kerithlana went.
I mean, on a long enough timeline, we're all dead already, so.
You reach the next set of stairs, and Belly starts going down it. As you descend, however, you notice a fawn-colored ferret slinking purposely along the wall.
Okay. Does Belly not say anything about it?
Belly notices it, and she kind of grimaces. And she's like, ugh, rodent infestation. And as she kind of is approaching and catching up with the ferret, and as she gets close to the ferret, you see the ferret's scruff bristle, and it lets out a little hiss, and then it starts to run away faster. And you see it run around the corner.
Okay.
Belly picks up speed and is chasing along after it.
Pelt after her.
Belly is like, we're almost there. Just down these stairs. And as you get to this landing, you see that the ferret has moved along down the stairs already. And in the distance, you see Kerithlana waving. And she's like, oh, hello there. Oh, there's a ferret.
Should I shoot it?
What? I don't know. Is it
And-
familiar for someone?
And Belly says, just these last flight of stairs, and you'll be there. The shrines are just down below.
Yeah, but what about the ferret?
Do a perception check.
Oh, I'm great at these.
Bleh.
We're so perceptive, guys.
Kymir, time has passed. A good hour since, with all of this stair climbing. I mean, these stairs have been pretty endless for all that Beli promised. You were almost there. So do another poison check and roll a constitution save.
Save.
But
You know,
alas,
you know when I decided not to put that extra point in con and put it all in dex? Arr.
that is 4 hours of poison.
May hear this poison stuff.
It's just, oh, God. So frustrating.
Steve,
Yes.
you've spotted the ferret at the bottom of the stairs. You do espy that much. And you see the ferret stand up on its hind legs, and it proceeds to wave its arms in front of its chest like it's saying, don't do it.
I hold off. Clearly, it's a polymorph something.
It's not Dave in
But
disguise, is it?
nobody else saw the ferret. Oh wait, let me check. Let's see if Beli saw the ferret. Beli saw the ferret. She complains. She's like, you know what those things do. They chew up the bloodroot trees.
I don't think that one's a normal ferret,
They
though.
snarl
It
at
just,
the roots. No, we
it's
should kill it. And she throws the spear that you gave her at the ferret.
Uh-oh.
I don't think that's a normal ferret.
But she critically fails.
See it, Kerithlana.
No, the range isn't that far. It just clatters. It's like short and like lands halfway down the stairs. Way short of the target. And you hear the lizard folk curse. And from a distance you hear Kerithlana giggle. And you can conclude that whatever the lizard folk said in Draconic, it was kind of naughty.
So, how far away from us is the ferret? Is that space accurate?
25 feet from where Beli is, 30 feet from you.
Okay, that's close enough. I got a 30-foot distance. I will use Mage Hand to pick the ferret up, or attempt to pick the ferret up.
Do a. It's going to be a contested thing. So make a ranged magic attack on the ferret, and the ferret's going to do a dex save
We'll
to
just
contest
borrow
that.
Eldritch. We'll just ask because it's the same roll. Oh, that'll
Oh,
do.
well, yeah, you caught the ferret because there's nothing. I don't know why I even rolled. You scoop up this ferret, and the ferret is wriggling in your mage hand, and you hear it squeal defiantly, and it's like kicking its little legs, and it looks very unhappy. And you hear it, make a little squeaky squeaky sound. I don't know what ferrets really sound like,
That's about right.
but it is a ferret defiant.
Okay, with the ferret secured, I will approach and attempt to calm the ferret. with my
As you go
amazing
down the
animal
stairs,
handling. Uh-oh.
a blade trap triggers.
Oh no.
So make a dex save.
Wow.
Stiiv manages to avoid the blades of this trap.
Little horny guy does a somersault.
And once the trap has triggered, and the blades are still halfway down the stairs, Beli scurries forward and is like, "Let me see that ferret."
It's mine. I picked him up first.
Well, you should crush him.
No, I'm telling you, this is not a normal ferret.
Ferrets kill
It was
trees.
waving at me.
You shouldn't let it live. They're vermin.
I returned to attempting to calm the ferret, ignoring Beli.
Kerithlana comes forward and she's like, "Oh, you got the ferret."
He's not happy with me right now.
Is that trap still going, or is it just a one-off?
It's still down. It unleashed wickety whacking across the stairs in like one wave of action, but once it did its little spinny thing, it's kind of like the blade traps in Tomb of Ryum, where it comes up temporarily and then it like goes still.
Okay.
So
Someone
Stiiv,
has to go reset it.
so yeah, someone has to go reset it. So Stiiv managed to dodge the first lash of the scything blades, and then they went still, and they're just kind of dangling there. So you have to like kind of ease your way around the blades as you go down the stairs, but it's not a threat. They're still.
There's no point in me doing a perception check on the ferret. So, is there anyone else who can to see if it's? Is it worth doing a perception check? Can we tell? I've got animal handling, but that's going to be shit as well.
Yeah, my animal
Beli
handling is.
picks up the spear that was halfway down the stairs, and she tries to throw it at your mage hand. And
Hey!
and the ferret. Oh wait, is it grappled or restrained? Grappled?
It would be grappled if it was a contested. It would be considered a grapple.
And she hits the ferret with the spear. Doing 6 damage. The ferret is bloodied, but it's still wriggling. You see it like trying to bite the grasping mage hand, and it makes another dex save. So make another ranged attack,
Oh,
Stiiv.
okay.
Eldritch Blast. Okay, never mind.
Well, it's the
It's a
same
ranged
attack
attack.
roll.
So this
Yeah,
time, the ferret manages to slip free of your mage hand, and it starts running away down the hall. It goes through Kerithlana's legs, and once it's past Kerithlana, and I'm going to open up something here too. Because Kerithlana, she sees down the stairs, she sees their shrines there.
Ooh.
Can I move ahead of Beli and scoop up the spear that she threw at the ferret?
You totally can do that.
The one that's sticking out of the ferret.
Well, is it?
Once the ferret is past Kerithlana, You see the ferret shape begin to transmutate.
He told you guys.
And it shifts from
You're
that
a
of a
ferret.
ferret to a half-orc man. And he looks on his guard, but he's kind of standing behind Kerithlana. And he's like, you should back off, and you should not trust the lizard folk.
I told you guys he wasn't a normal ferret.
You did. We believed you. I'm not sure if she believed you and that's why she was throwing the spear at him, or she didn't believe you and that's why she was throwing the spear at him.
The lizard folk, the local lizard folk that I know of, are much more respectful of nature.
I'm going to sort of like cross my arms and glare at Beli.
And then this half-orc points at Kerithlana and says, "Are you Kerithlana?" And this I wish Hilla was here. So she looks. She doesn't say anything. Because she feels like this is a trick question. And the
Secretly wondering if
half-orc
she's from
says,
Oceania.
assuming from your expression that you are Kerithlana, your reputation precedes you. I would have invited you to my grove for some gristlebark tea, but you know how the home circle of gatekeepers are. They suggested you would be better off getting lost in nature for a while, and I took their wisdom under advisement. But seeing as you're here, maybe the circle didn't get it right after all. I assume you're here investigating the poisoned land surrounding these ruins.
He kinda sounds like a dick.
Just a bit.
There are demons everywhere.
So we've been told.
All is not what it seems. You can tell that I had the shape of a forest creature. Now I have the shape of a half-orc. A member of the gatekeepers. I am with their circle. I guard this area, the grove outside of Saltmarsh. My name is Farron Castellar. Now, you may have witnessed that I've made this transformation from something natural into another thing natural. Consider then that not everything that you see in these ruins is in its true form.
And how are we supposed to trust that you are actually in your true form and you are who you say you are?
Do you have the power to detect good and evil?
I don't have the power to do anything at the moment, mate.
I turn into Barry the tomato vendor with Mask of Many Faces.
Ah, your horny friend here demonstrates exactly what I'm talking about. People can assume many faces. Are you certain that all of you are who you say you are?
No, but we've been together a while now, so. I mean, it's been like 3 days.
Something like that.
Yeah. Do any of us
Everybody
have skills?
do a perception check.
See? Can't tell a thing. Where am I?
Stiiv and Kerithlana. Running around the corner from where Kerithlana originally started, you see the ghostly form of a frail child peering briefly at you. And you do no more than blink, and you see that the figure rushes down the stairs, past where you see the shrines, and disappears out of sight.
Okay, that wasn't creepy. Y'all saw that, right?
What? So what?
What?
Little ghost just whoosed by.
I forgot to roll for Belly, so let me do that now. Belly sees the child, and she's like, "It's the children! I must capture them!" And she goes running that
capture?
direction.
Why did she
How
say
do you catch
capture?
a ghost?
Yeah, but why? I thought she was looking after him.
And let's roll for the druid. Oh, the druid definitely sees this. And the druid, as the lizardfolk passes, tries to stop the the lizardfolk. God, words are hard. Tries to stop the lizardfolk from moving past him.
I'm not getting involved in this spat.
I'm starting to distrust that person.
Attacks with the quarterstaff, trying to trip. Manages to do it, and so the lizardfolk is knocked prone.
I mean, he did throw a spear at him twice.
Yeah, but why did she say capture instead of help?
I don't know. This place is creepy. I don't like it.
Yeah,
Very poor choice of words.
The druid Farron turns back to you and is speaking more at Kerithlana than the rest of you, and says, "This is a matter for gatekeepers. This is a sacred place now, with the dragons in residence. It has been for some time, a place of bounty, nature.
I
It's
don't know. It
been
looks pretty
corrupted.
burnt and bloodied now.
It's been corrupted by the demons that have been roaming these halls, going deeper to see what has happened with the dragons."
all right, but we were told that she was working with the dragons and that she is the daughter of the lizardfolk.
You should look closer. I don't believe she's with the lizard folk.
You see, that's what I'm thinking. Can I just go, like, if she's tripped up, can I, like, no, that's you. Can I go sit on her? Yeah, put my knee on her back and just keep her down.
As you do this, you hear the lizard folk let out an annoyed squeal. "Ah! You idiots! Let me go! The little monster's gonna get away!"
It's a ghost. Of course it can get away. It can go wherever it wants.
And I thought you were supposed to be looking after the children.
Are also, are the children even alive? Like, you were like screaming about it earlier about saving them. If they're already dead, what's the problem? Poor choice
The
of
whole
words.
point is to find them. Are you gonna let me up or not?
Not till I know who the hell you are.
Stupid lizard folk form. And with that, the lizard folk dissolves underneath your ass, Kymir. Becomes
How
ethereal.
exciting.
Becomes ethereal. And then flying in the air above, another figure appears. And It's the form of a beautiful woman with red leathery wings, a succubus. And she swoops down on Kymir and takes a little kiss.
He's going to be slightly stunned.
Do a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. No. Constitution saving. That one. Oh, we know how well these work.
You just managed to save.
I don't suppose I got rid of my poison while I
And the
was at it, did it?
succubus pouts and goes ethereal again and disappears out of sight.
Son of a.
Indeed.
Well, at least he got us to a shrine before she turned out to be a backstabbing little.
The half-orc druid crosses his arms as he surveys the four of you. And he
That's-
raises one eyebrow and says, "Are you going to be more cautious now?"
Hey, I just started trusting her as soon as she didn't want to, pick up and pet the ferret.
That is a good
Sorry.
that is a wise instinct. I'm an adorable ferret. Who wouldn't want to pet me?
I don't know why that just cracked me up. I am an adorable ferret, said completely deadpan.
You can judge a great deal about a person and how they treat animals. One who isn't willing to pet a ferret is someone who has suspicious nature.
So, do we think it's safe to sit down at the shrine for a second?
The druid goes down the stairs and he looks, and I'm gonna there's not much more of this map because it goes on to another map from here on. You see that there's kind of a transition, and there's further stairs that lead downward beyond these shrines. But the druid inspects the area, and you see him kind of make circles with his quarterstaff, and he says, I sense that there is no immediate evil in this area anymore. It should be safe for a rest at these shrines. Do you want me to stay and protect you?
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
Sure.
Big, powerful Mr. Gatekeeper person, sir.
I need to take a quick break.
All right.
Me too.
I'm assuming that everybody's going to shrine,
Yes.
take a long rest.
Yes.
At the end of this long rest, Kymir finds that his poison has gone.
Does a little dance.
I have such a hard time finding things. If everybody needs to refill their drinks and take a mental run around the house, do you want to do
Sure.
that for a couple minutes?
Yeah.
A couple of minutes won't be long.
Okay.
Right, I'm back.
Cleo, I had to when I came back to my chair, my cat Duncan was in my seat and he did not want to move. So for a brief period of time, you had a new DM and you were all kinku.
Oh.
It's like everybody's a kinku now. Or a bird adjacent race.
Arakokra.
Yeah, that is appropriate as well.
I
And
think.
Cat DM is happy.
Did you say no longer poisoned?
You, after taking a long rest, you find that the poison has dissipated. Did I not remove the condition?
No.
Okay, let me remove that condition.
Cool. So happy.
Once everyone has rested and recouped, Farron the Druid, he's been talking to Kerithlana about what he's been doing here and why it's relevant to the gatekeepers. And she's been kind of, trying to be really serious about it. Because this is the home organization that sent her to the east.
But we don't know why she's been sent, do we?
You don't know exactly. You just know that they dispatched her to the east. And now this is the first time that she's run into somebody who is also affiliated with the gatekeepers on this side of the world. And you could tell from her body language that she's kind of like maybe freaking out a little bit, trying to make a good impression.
Like when the guy from corporate shows up and you were
Yeah,
unexpecting it.
yeah. And the fact that he's was warned of her. I mean, is it word that she was coming to the east? She's like, oh gosh. People are talking about me. Oh my. Farron, Farron tells her that he came to Marseval because word of the befouled water table surrounding the ruins reached him by word of the birds while he was out gathering herbs. Because normally he keeps closer to Saltmarsh. This is a little bit north of his normal travels because it is appropriate to be respectful of the dragon Kaifoth and her lair, because she's proved herself to be generous and mindful of taking care of the earth surrounding her lair.
Okay, so she's a good dragon.
So he said that the birds had come back with word that they were speaking of starving because the worms and fish had gone all funny in the area. And as far as he knows, the dragons are cool and they're usually very responsible about the land and the sea surrounding the ruins. So he immediately became worried that something had happened. He also has said to Kerithlana that he knows there are things while Kaifoth doesn't work directly with the gatekeepers, Kaifoth is involved with matters that are of interest to the gatekeepers. That if there are demons running around Kaifoth's lair, that is a cause for concern because there are things that Kaifoth knows and things that the gatekeepers believe that Kaifoth, secrets that Kaifoth might have, that one would not want falling into the hands of demons.
Okay, so our original idea of going to help the dragon still fits.
Yeah, we
Yes.
just got a whole bunch of side note. We're still doing the same quest. We just got new objectives added.
Farron asks you about what you've seen so far in the ruins. When you encountered the demons, what did you observe? Have you come across anything of interest that might be relevant to the gatekeepers?
Well, I suppose we should say that as far as demons concerned, all we've seen is the Dretch until obviously Beli revealed herself to not be Beli. And do we mention the Sawagin that we've seen? the dead bodies and the symbols. Yeah.
Farron will nod. Yes. It seems I believe the demons are doing something in service to one of the Lords of Dust. It is some greater demonic plot. But if you know demonic plots, and he kind of nods at Kerithlana, and she's like nodding, like, "Oh yeah, I totally know demonic plots." There are layers upon layers, circles within circles. So whatever is happening here is probably part of a larger scheme. Did you hear them say anything of their goals?
It was well, actually, no. She did say that he had to. What was it? She said that uh, she did say something about saving the trees and. Yeah, demons are trying to destroy the trees and kill the young and the wyrmlings. But she said that while she was still Belly, so.
We may have seen the figure of one of the children earlier. I don't have a lot of experience with dragon wyrmlings, but I know that Kaifoth has been breeding later. She had taken a mate. I think I just said breeding later. That doesn't make any damn sense. She has been breeding lately. I know that there are 2 young wyrmlings. There may be more.
Okay, but why would we see them as a ghost?
Not everything you see is the way things are. The dragons are very talented with magic. You might not have seen a ghost. You might have just seen a form
Projection?
moving, trying to be undetected.
Or, I mean, there's all sorts of ways to make things, just use like minor illusion to make a. They're like, see, they're ghost.
Okay, so do we think perhaps the child was doing some kind of projection to look for help?
It is possible. If the demons are searching for the child, it must be in terrible danger. I do not think these wyrmlings are very old, but who knows what their parents might have taught them. Kaifoth herself is an ancient dragon, privy to many secrets, great magic. It would take something powerful beyond our comprehension to subdue such a creature.
Yeah, I mean, if Kaifa not going to be able to help.
Well, we must investigate further. We just must hope that whatever this stranger is not waiting and lurking for us. Or, if we find it, that Kaifoth is still well and able to fight at our side.
Well, I guess that means we just start walking to the next map.
The last thing, Fair nods, but he says to Kerithlana, "Did you hear the demons mention the Codex at all?"
Oh, sure. Okay, so now it actually becomes important. Who does have the scrap of parchment?
It's in the party inventory, so anybody could have it. Now, I think when last we left the scrap of parchment, Kymir had one hand on one end, and Shaefira had her hand on the other end, and they were showing it to Kerithlana equally.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
Shaefira said earlier that she felt that she was just giving up on tugging at the paper and just let me have it.
Okay,
But
so
I think
Kymir has
I
it.
think I would have passed it. I think I would have passed it to Kerithlana because I can't read hydroponic, so I'd have given it to her.
So you can read the actual important bit. You can just read the vandalism that happened to the page.
Yeah.
So Kerithlana has it, and she pulls out the scrap of parchment, and she shows Farron the note, and he looks very concerned when he sees the reference to the codex, and he says, "This is disturbing. There's been word in other places throughout Eberron, across Corvair, and even as far as Zindrick. Between planes of the demons rousing efforts to collect the Codex of the Infinite Planes. One attempt has already been foiled for them to use this book to invade the multiverse. But it seems they have not given up on that scheme. Not if they're searching for a page of the Codex here."
And do we know what the page of the codex will do? Or do we? Yeah.
Do you
we have any
ask?
clue? Yeah, because I'm not sure Kymir has a clue what this codex will
Kymir
do.
and Kerithlana are they most likely in the party unless somebody else makes a really good Arcana check
Okay.
to know. So Stiiv knows. You know that the Codex of the Infinite Planes is a legendary artifact, and that each page allows travel to its own location. So it could be anywhere. Each page is dedicated to a point in the multiverse.
Okay.
Individual pages have been gathered, and if they are bound together, potentially this allows the wielder of the codex travel to any place in the universe.
So that's not something we want demons to have.
No.
Farron looks at each of you and he asks very solemnly, "Are you trustworthy?"
Not really.
He puts a hand on Steve's shoulder and he says, "I trust you most of all." It takes self-awareness to be able to admit their weakness. What does Shaefira and Kymir say?
I guess I'd just kind of shrug.
Whole party not bothered.
just like not. It's
I
honest.
mean, I don't know this guy. I mean,
This is like, yeah, our best skill set is deceiving people, so
Our big ass.
it is our main skill.
it's kind of your one main skill set. So everybody's just kind of shrugging. And like Kerithlana is kind of looking at her feet again, looking at her boots, like, "Oh, my boots are super interesting."
Oh.
And the druid, he kind of chuckles at you, at your reactions. And he says, "I can see that you don't believe you're trustworthy. Person with malevolent intent would try to deceive answering that question. So I will tell you, Kaifoth is a guardian of a codex page."
All right, that explains the attack.
Kaifoth is a member of an organization known as the Eyes of Chronopsis. Are you familiar with this?
I didn't even know how that's spelled, so I'm gonna say no.
I'm will type it in chat. Without the 2 at the beginning. I don't know how I managed that.
Oh yeah, I was way off.
Okay. And that's the page that Kaifoff has got.
He said that that Kaifoth is a member of the Eyes of Cronopsis.
Oh, right, sorry. So is that some kind of time?
I think I spelled it wrong. You know that last E is actually an I.
So Chronos time, isn't it?
Wait, I spelled it completely wrong. What is my problem?
Haven't had enough cherries, Bonnie.
Like,
So
pay no
I read
attention
it as
to like the
I read
absolute.
it as Chronoscop.
You've got bias there.
The DM is completely out of. I mean, who knows? Maybe this isn't even spelling it right. But honestly, my God. I am so laughing at myself right now. Cronepsis.
Okay.
But
what
that's
do I
probably wrong
roll?
too. It's something like that, okay?
You're
Now
the one
that's-
with the book.
That looks like a disease.
Yeah, but I don't have that particular book open in front of me right now. It's like a different book. It's one of the it's a Eberron book. The DM says in the side that from 3rd edition. So
Right. Would I have come across this in my teachings at the
I was
monastery?
getting ready to say, while everyone else would have to probably do an Arcana check to see if they have a fucking clue who Chronepsis is, much less how to spell their name. Kymir.
Clueless.
Yeah, Steve's got nothing. It's like Crony Pesus? Who's Crony Pesus?
Chrono penises? What?
But Kymir knows. Kymir knows that Chronepsis is the dragon god of death and judgment. Chronepsis is known as the Watcher.
Okay.
What Kymir understands is dragons believe that Chronepsis judges the souls of dragons after they die in Eberron and decides if a dragon's soul will fall into the Grey of Dolor or ascend as a dragon sovereign. Chronepsis is also considered the god of fate and prophecy, and some believe that Chronepsis is responsible for shaping how the draconic prophecy is revealed, and has allowed fragments of the code to be hidden or known to people on Eberron. Kymir, you know that among the Monastery of the Broken Code, that there are those that believe Chronepsis has the greatest insight to the draconic prophecies compared to any other mind in Eberron and beyond. Some of the monks take as much interest in meditating upon what is known of the dragon god as they do the known text of the draconic prophecies. It's not precisely worship, and not all the monks of your order partake in this activity, but they see Chronepsis as a prophet, an ideal mind. And they do believe that there's one monk in your order named Rymania. That is how it's spelled. Achieved such great insight in her studies of Chronopsis and the prophetic code, despite her short dragonborn lifespan, which is markedly shorter than that of an ancient dragon, much less a dragon god, that the dragon god intervened at her death, and her soul did not proceed to Dolor, but she was reincarnated as a dragon herself.
Okay.
Now, this is just a smaller faction within the monastery, and everybody else just argues that Cronepsis, one of their other names besides the Watcher, is the Silent, and they believe that the dragon god is truly neutral and doesn't interfere and has nothing to do with sharing the prophecy and doesn't interact at all, just keeps a distance and observes. So those others, and really kind of the more popular majority of the Way of the Broken Code, just believes that the Eyes of Cronopsis, they're solely the work of mortal dragons using the dragon god's name as an aegis, and they see the Way of the Broken Code as being a parallel non-draconic group studying the prophecies, not tangential to dragon things at all.
Okay.
So yeah, Kymir knows a lot.
Kind of, sort of in the backstory.
Hmm. Well, I guess I share this with the guys so that, they know what I think I know about it. How long ago did Rymania supposedly die and get reincarnated?
Over a century ago, but before you were born.
Right. Okay.
It was before the time of the last war.
Okay. Then I'm going to say that it seems that we need to help Kai, or at least see if Kaifoth needs help, because personally I feel that a dragon can probably handle stuff, but the fact that everything's dead around here would suggest they may be having issues.
Good point.
Um,
You see that beyond, to the south, a jade marble archway extends to another longer descent. The floor below the ruins looks ornate and ancient. The walls are not smooth, but ridged, much like the scales of a fantastic dragon or a devil. Uh, you're nesting at the shrines right before the archway. The stairs descend into darkness.
I'm going to turn to Stiiv and say, dude, light me up.
I will snap my fingers and Kymir's horns light up red. Let's go!
As you're walking, Farron makes note of Kymir's crown of oceany bits that she's wearing. And he makes the comment that it looks like something the Feywild wears on equinox break.
Bit of spring break joke.
I'm moving you to another map. I'm not moving the shrines to another map.
Oh, they can come with us if they want.
You rested at the shrine, which means it has no properties for another 24 hours of game time.
Dan.
Well, that actually checks out in game rules because you can only benefit from one long rest in a 24-hour period.
All right, I am sharing a map.
Holy
Hopefully.
shit. That one's big.
It is a big map. It's a big, sexy map. So you see that the hall is ornate. You see signs that there were once some statues around the place that have been vandalized, broken. If you piece them together, you see that the statues were of draconic figures. Periodically along the walls, you see a symbol that has been etched out and vandalized. It is of a single draconic eye. And Farron points at it, and Kymir knows that this is a symbol of the eyes of Cronopsis. Everybody do a perception check, and you can adjust yourselves accordingly to your marchy order.
Bloody hell! Put the poison back.
We are a
We're
perceptive bunch
dead.
of Kerithlana, save us!
Kerithlana does have a good enough passive perception, so I'm not going to roll for her because that'll just make everything worse. Let's see if the druid sees anything. Oh, the druid has passive perception too. So both Kerithlana and the druid, Farron, they spot a ghostly child figure running down the hall. And they see the child go around a corner to the east.
It's east to the left because
It's to the right.
okay.
So cardinal directions: north is up, south is down, west is left, and yeah, I didn't put an arrow on this map.
We're just gonna pretend we're like the
Right.
tunnel did a U-turn before we got to this map.
Yeah.
Well, you went down. Yeah, that's basically what's going on.
There was a landing and it switched.
There
back.
was a flight of stairs that went down that turned, and now you're like kind of at the. This is underneath the previous level that you were on.
All right. Gotcha.
I thought about that. I just didn't want to like draw it out explicitly.
No, that's fine.
You see that left behind the childish form, an object was dropped on the floor. It's a toy dragon plushie.
Is that the thing that Kymir's standing on?
Yes. Yeah, I put it on the map because I thought it was cute.
Well, that's a lot less ominous than a dead pseudo dragon. So
So,
It is.
a toy dragon plushie. It's quite large. It like the average toddler would probably find this a bit of an oversized toy to play with regularly.
it's like one of those plushies you get at the carnival.
Yeah, like it's not practical for most.
Just completely unnecessary.
As Kymir picks it up, you notice that it does make a really it's very noisy. Like it sounds like the filling is a bit rustly, like a cat toy that has the foil inside.
Okay. Do we want to stick it in the bag?
And so you can hear it, and then you feel like over the surface of it is just that normal plushiness that's in a toy that's soft and squeezable, and when you give it a hug, it just crackles. Like there's some kind of
Cocaine packets inside it.
no, more like God,
Sorry.
the dream lily, refined
It's
dream
a-
lily.
It's a catnip toy for a tiger.
But there's definitely like stuffing, multi-faceted stuffing inside to make it like soft but noisy.
Yeah, we can just stick it in the bag.
Yeah, I'm worried it might give us away. More
Says
so
the
than
person.
ones, maybe.
I was about
Yeah,
to say with the
exactly.
glowing horns. Yeah, it'll give us away. Into the bag you go.
Stiiv put it in you put it in your bag of holding.
Yep.
Where are my pencils, Stiiv? Oh, there they are. Uh, so if you look at the hall ahead, you see that it is a what I'm going to say an X or plus junction. Up ahead, the halls go in all directions. If you go south, you go back the way that you came from. It extends to the north. To the east is where the childish figure ran off out of sight. And then the hallway also extends to the west. In the junction of these hallways, you see that the floor has again been painted with the demonic symbol associated with the Lords of Dust.
Should
I
we
mean,
follow
we
the
think.
ghost?
Yeah, I'm just. Is the symbol? Do we get the feeling it's just like graffiti, or is there a purpose for it? Should we be trying to damage it to prevent anything that it might be used?
Do an Arcana check.
Clueless.
Yep.
Like, oh, I need to do one for Kerithlana too. Oh, this is going to be successful. Oh, it is successful. Holy cow. She got a natty 20.
Nice.
-1, so she's technically 19, but I mean, not technically, because it's a natural 20 is a natural 20, no matter what you say. Well, even the Druid wasn't sure. But Kerithlana, she's thinking back to your experience with your haunted house and how Sanbele had put up necromantic symbols throughout your house, and that unleashed a magical spell that reanimated a whole lot of dead in your house before the symbols were broken and taken away. And she hypothesizes that, okay, this could have to do with that kind of thing. Like maybe if we kill these demons, they're going to come back from the dead.
Okay, that doesn't sound like.
She thinks, though, that, you know, this might just be graffiti.
Might just be what?
She thinks it might just be graffiti. This might just be like a, hey, we really like this particular demon guy. And this
Kilroy
is,
was here.
yeah, like, yeah. It might just be like, they're like, oh, we're Team Bernie, but it's like all over the place. That's a bad analogy. Um, but it might just be a symbol for like the name of, or that represents whatever demonic figure or fiend that this Lords of Dust plot is in aid of. It might just be the reckless vandalism of chaotic fiends.
Hmm.
So her natty 20 means we still don't know.
Yeah, she's not like, hey, I don't know everything about fiends, but as she like talks herself through it, she started out thinking, oh, well, maybe it's to cast a spell, like Sanbele was doing. But then she started thinking, well, no, that probably doesn't make sense because why would you just like put the symbols up at the entrance and stuff? If it was for something important, you would, make sure that they were protected, wouldn't you? Somewhere where your people were. And so far, you only saw that there were like fiends around near one of the symbols that you've come across. So she's starting to think, combined with the wreck trees that you found so far, and the knocked over dragon statues, that maybe this is just vandalism. Maybe they were just killing Sahuagin and Lizardfolk, and they're like, hey, let's use the blood to have some fun.
Okay, so the fiends are dicks, is the point.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what she's talked herself around to. Kerithlana is like, fiends, they aren't really nice. They're
All right.
very messy.
Let's go looking for that kid then.
Hey, you're supposed to be in front.
Well, you ran off ahead.
Yeah, and I stopped at the corner.
There we go.
Okay, so how are you progressing? Are you being sneaky?
Yeah, slowly.
Everybody
We're
do
being
stealth
sneaky.
checks.
We're being sneaky with glowing bulbs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously. Shaefira goes ahead.
I want to stay at the back.
Nobody notices Shaefira is there. Nobody notices the druid. You guys are effortlessly like sneaking. You've totally. This is not your first sneak. Kerithlana, let's see. I gotta roll for her.
Clank, 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 clank. This is where she rolls better than me.
This is where she gets her plastic
Oh,
cutout to
yeah.
rattle her dice in.
So, Kerithlana is the least stealthy amongst all of you. So she is clankety clank, 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 clank.
It's like trying to sneak with RoboCop behind you.
Exactly.
Okay. Shaefira, you're not going to go ahead? You don't want to sneaky sneak?
Okay.
I mean, no one will see you because you sneaky sneak. I'll just try and provide a bit of dim light so you can see stuff.
Is your thingy still glowing? Your horns.
Yes.
Looking down the hallway, you see several things. One is the succubus flying down the hallway ahead of you. Two is a small child figure cowering.
Right. And do we think the succubus
And
can see it?
it is cornered. The child is a bit cornered by a demon. And you see that there's a tree that it still has its leaves, but the leaves have turned a sickly brown color, and there are signs of gashes and disease upon the bark. It doesn't look like a healthy tree. The succubus is alerted to the clank of Kerithlana's armor and says, "We have company, boys.
Boys, I don't like that.
Take care of the riffraff while I handle our little dryling friend." And she flies forward towards the child, and you guys roll initiative. And I think that's where we'll end it.
Oopsie.
I need to roll for Kerithlana. Yeah, I think that's a good place to stop.
Yes.
Whee! And Kymir is at the top of the attack order when we resume next time. Now, oh, where's my phone of stuff? I'm pretty sure we are free next weekend, considering nobody gets to go anywhere.
Yep.
Yep.
Checking my calendar, but I'm fairly sure we are good.
What are you checking the calendar for? We haven't got anywhere to go.
Well, you never.
Don't got anybody coming round because that'd be naughty.
Yeah, I've got D&D down for 8:00.
Yeah, it would be totally naughty.
So 4 police cars out this morning.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, what if they stop us?
Yeah,
That reminds me, I should print my papers before I go shopping.
I'm gonna guess
Mhm.
print your papers. Print your papers. I can't do a accent. This is why I'm just talking in deep voice today. Because
What papers do you have to print?
For essential personnel.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
essential personnel.
I'm
Like-
I'm essential.
He's
It's like
essential.
my key worker letter that they had to do twice because they didn't put the department letterhead on the first one. So it could have been written by anybody, basically.
I don't have any
Even-
dates down for not doing Saltmarsh. Oh, the 11th I had down.
I haven't got it for then, and I don't know who couldn't make it.
I think that was Hill.
Right, so we'll check.
But let's assume that we're good for next week. We're probably going to be good for the 11th as well, if
For the foreseeable future.
stay-at-homes continue. But we'll cross that bridge next weekend. Well, thank you guys.
Well, thank you.
Hopefully, I wasn't too incoherent. I hate when I don't get to sleep because the odds of, I mean, it's already a challenge for me to form complete sentences, but when I haven't slept, it's just like, oh boy.
It was
And-
good.
There was actually some like lore and not all combat this time around like last time. I'll try to archive this, get it up on YouTube sooner rather than
I don't seem to
later.
have access to the
So
Personae Dramatis that Hill's done, so
yeah,
I couldn't put any notes in.
and hopefully she can like see what has happened.
Is Hill gonna email summarizing the lore dump that she was absent for her history?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't think she had as much lore dump as Kymir did. Kymir had most of the lore dump there.
I will need to write it all down when I rewatch the session. I didn't write down while we were playing, so I tend to rely on the replay. So
I did some pretty good notes while we were.
Cool.
I didn't do the entire lore dump for Kymir though, but the high. Well, thank you guys. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Yes, we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Go get some
Steve.
sleep, Bonnie.
Don't die.
Don't die.
Stay healthy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.